So there I was, looking out the window, cracking dad jokes with a sniper rifle trained on my head, about to publish the single most viewed video in my entire career. And it wouldn't mean a thing. Going viral, getting your content in front of millions of people, that's the dream for many creators and marketing professionals, but let me tell you why going viral might actually be the worst thing for your business. Too often, people pursue a misguided concept of success that has little bearing on actual business health. We chase numbers that don't have any real value. But what if it's worse than that? What if the metrics you're chasing aren't just meaningless, but are actively pulling you away from the success you truly want? Thanks to today's sponsor, Relay, who's partnering with Profit First to give away $25,000 in cash to one lucky business owner this holiday season. Be sure to watch to the end to learn how you can enter for a chance to win. It was the week leading up to the presidential election when I heard a commotion from my office window. And it looked like a motorcade was driving through my neighborhood. Now, I live in a swing county in a swing state, so it wasn't a huge surprise to learn that a vice presidential candidate was on his way to a small rally the next town over. I was surprised to see the whole cavalcade stop and set up shop at the coffee house right across the street. I got to watch from my window as Secret Service agents took position. They had the sunglasses and the earpieces, the black SUVs, the whole thing. There's even a counter sniper that perched up in the fire escape. It was something to see. So I pulled out my phone. A vice presidential candidate is making a little coffee run at Johnson Hall Coffee Shop this morning, right across the street from me. And I gotta say, if I ever ran for office, like vice president or president or anything like that, I'd probably just get a Keurig or an espresso machine, because this is really involved. And that's it. That's the joke. And people watched it over 500,000 times. I was a TikTok god! Except not really. 600K is chump change on TikTok. But it was a fun moment of semi-virality, and it served more than anything as a good example of metrics that don't matter. That video had nothing to do with my regular content, nothing to do with my business. I posted on my Self-Employment Sidekick account, but the people watching weren't here for helpful tips and encouragement for their self-employment journey. They only cared about my poor attempt at humor and getting in political fights with each other in the comments. There's no connection between my video's success and my actual business goals. And if I'm not careful, it could completely sabotage me. If I do that on the regular, if I keep chasing views with diluted content, I'm going to end up diluting my authority in the area where I can best serve people. I might be seen by more people, but I won't be recognized as a trustworthy source for business and marketing support. And this happens a lot in business and marketing. People focus on these big awareness campaigns. They get distracted and run off in every direction trying to attain something that looks and smells like success, but it ends up being a poor imitation. And all the while, true success keeps slipping further and further away. Seth Godin warns about the danger of chasing what he calls false proxies, misleading or inaccurate indicators of achievement. Some examples of false proxies include equating being busy with being productive. I don't need to explain that one. Hiring based on charisma instead of qualifications. Marketing campaigns, measuring success in clicks rather than conversions. You can spend a lot of money on Google ads and get a lot of clicks to your website, but if the ads were poorly targeted, the copy didn't really set up the offer well, and your website doesn't clearly communicate your value proposition, you're going to waste a lot of money. On a similar note, raw website traffic can be a false proxy if you're not looking at more data like time on page, bounce rate, and conversions. Video views don't paint a full picture unless you also look at the average time watched. And for that matter, probably most social media statistics would fall in this category as well. In my case with the TikTok video, those 600,000 views were a false proxy. My content was seen a lot, I know that, but what meaningful impact did it actually have on my brand? I would be a fool to try to shape my strategy around the success of that video, try to replicate the results by posting more political content. Oh, that really took off. Let me abandon Self-Employment Sidekick and become a politics tuber. No. I want to get as many subscribers and views as possible, sure, but I'm not going to rely on any of that as the primary indicator of my business success. I have a whole strategy that lies under all of this. YouTube and TikTok and everything else is just a piece of the puzzle. And this is why trying to go viral or chase any other false proxy can be so damaging. We get wrapped up in the tools and tactics and the temporary and lose sight of the larger long-term strategy. And if you're wandering around without a clear idea of where you're trying to get to and how to get there, well, sir, that sounds an awful lot like being lost. So, how do we get out of the woods? Here are 3 things you need to do. First, let's make a map. Let's draw up our strategy. And to borrow from Seth Godin again, strategy starts with knowing what change you want to make. Who do you want to serve? What sort of value do you want to create? Define your North Star. What's the overarching goal of your business? For me, it's ultimately to provide for my family. But the change I want to make is to encourage people who are considering starting a business to take a chance on themselves and to help self-employed people grow a thriving business. Everything I do, the services I offer, the content I produce, needs to align with that. What's your goal? And be willing to think outside the confines of your existing business because it might be too limited or out of alignment in its current form. So start at the very foundation of your purpose and set your sights on that. 2, choose metrics that matter and put them on a dashboard so you can track them over time. You don't need to overcomplicate it. A spreadsheet will do the trick. The number of coaching clients and web design contracts I have is one of the biggest metrics that will determine whether or not I'm putting food on the table for my family. So that's going to be a big key performance indicator. And how do I get those clients? Let's work backwards. I have one-on-one conversations with them. I have a pretty solid conversion rate on discovery calls, so calls scheduled is another thing I want to monitor because that's going to give me a pretty good idea of how much money will be coming in. And how do I get those calls? Let's go further up the funnel and track the sources of my prospects so I know what channels to focus on. Word of mouth is a big one, but YouTube actually has driven quite a bit of new business, so that's a tactic I want to continue to invest in. And then YouTube has their metrics. I care about them. I care about the number of views a video gets and the number of subscribers I have. But more importantly, I need to care about who my subscribers are and how I can best serve them. Remember, metrics are just a proxy. They're just a stand-in. We can't forget that we're ultimately dealing with other human beings. And the most powerful way to bring about the change you desire in the world is to see beyond the numbers on the spreadsheet and lean into building connections with real live people. That said, identify which KPIs you want to track and make sure you have some way to track them. Before I move on to number 3, let's talk about one of the most critical things every business needs to track: your cash. And that is why I recommend the sponsor of today's video, Relay, a business banking platform designed to help you track your money and manage cash flow effortlessly. They have a ton of great features. Not shiny objects, mind you, but tools that will actually help make sure your money is where it needs to be. There are no account fees. You can open up to 20 different checking accounts, so it's a perfect fit for business owners using the Profit First method. They even have a Profit First auto transfer rule that will automatically divvy up your income into your tax, owner's pay, expense, profit accounts, or whatever other accounts you want to set up. Sign up today using my link sidekick.show/relay for a $100 sign-up bonus when you fund your account with $100 or more. And you might get more than that because right now, Relay and Profit First are hosting a giveaway, the 25K Cash Flow Glow Up, where one lucky business owner will win a $25,000 cash prize. All you have to do is sign up before December 31st and you're automatically entered into the draw. Even if you don't win, Friends of Self-Employment Sidekicks still get that $100 stocking stuffer, so sign up, fund your account, and take control of your cash flow today. Number 3, the hardest part of all. Avoid shiny objects. Don't change tactics unless you know they aren't working. You want to regularly evaluate whether your actions align with your goals and keep an eye on your meaningful metrics that we just defined. You might need to make some adjustments. You might benefit from incorporating new tools into your workflow to help you do your job more efficiently. But you know what really kills efficiency? Constantly trying out new tools. Software isn't a strategy, and success isn't going to be found chasing shiny objects. If you want to get out of the woods, keep going straight. Stay focused on what truly matters. What false proxies are you chasing in your business or your life? Leave a comment below and let's talk about how to refocus. I know I mentioned the importance of tracking your cash, but I didn't go into a ton of detail because I have a whole other video that covers how to master your cash flow, and you can watch that right here.